Cons did this to me.
I've been going to more anime cons recently. There's just some sort of magic about them that reels you in and never lets you go. Over my short time, I've identified at least 10 types of people that you'll likely encounter at these events made for weirdos. Slop, stereotypes, reality. If I can make fun of them, I'll tell you the facts. The average nerd comprises 95% of anyone that attends an anime convention. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means that you're a basic bitch. It's pretty hard to categorize them since they are a broad group of people that range from babies in toilets to adults living the good old days. Mentally and physically. I find there are a few fun common tidbits about your average nerd. Typically with Congoers, when they find cons, they will show up. Whatever region of the country they're from, they will support any event big and small. They'll show up with friends, family, pets, cardboard cutouts, a suitcase full of plushies. Normally, if you're not 40 years old, these people either tend to be introverted or introverted and a little bit eccentric. These are the type of people to hold signs that say, honk for hentai, or whatever. Beyond this point, these weirdos can go down one of 9 routes. And one of the most common is... Oh my goodness, what is that?
Poop.
Oh, please excuse my lack of spirit. You know, I wouldn't mind mentally breaking down in this. At some point in our lives, we all think about binge drinking. Same thing as dressing up as your waifu. Cosplay is the first big pillar of anime conventions, at least in my opinion. Cons are the only place where you can see Reimu and that one guy from JJK discussing politely about their divorce, while some Bakugo and Deku cosplayers kiss violently in the artist alley. I would be in tears right now if that didn't happen. There comes an age when people realize that you can dress up as on any day that doesn't end with October 31st. And conventions just so happen to be the place where people get their start. Cosplay really started to take off in the late 2000s thanks to anime doing the whole, "Look ma, I'm on TV now" tactic. Really dedicated otaku enjoy dressing up as their favorite characters, regardless of gender, due to how fun it is. Go figure. Over time, it became gradually accepted in the mainstream, to the point where cosplay stores started opening up. You can typically spot one of these baby cosplayers easily. Cheap fabric, unstyled wig, the cosplay itself might be too tight or fit like a blanket. There's nothing wrong with that though. After all, we all start from somewhere. One of the most anticipated events for your average cosplayer is the cosplay meetup. It's the best place to find cosplayers from a specific series, and the occasional wholesome moment. Day 4 of Anime Expo had the Toho Project meetup, where I went as my favorite character. Go figure. There were Fumo plushies on RC cars performing the classic American tradition of road rage. The photo shoots with characters from different games, and a sweet tribute to a community friend. Mr. E was a well-known figure in the Western Toho community, mainly because he took pictures with his plushies in a car known for brake checking you on the freeway. Unfortunately, earlier in 2024, he was taken too soon thanks to a car accident. His impact was felt all around the community, and when the Fumo plush part of the meetup came, a nice little tribute was made for the guy. I guess it's a good reminder that you are loved by someone, somewhere. Even if you're dressed like this. No way, it's Technoblade!
Technoblade never dies, baby!
It might be cheating putting this type on here, but just hear me out. At most cons, there are certain events for cosplayers that have graduated to the next level. The coveted cosplay competitions. You want to show off your crafting and sewing skills? Come on dude, let's get to work. What? Who got first place then? These guys spend their entire lives on cosplay, and when they're at a high enough skill level, they'll join one of two competitions. The first of which being the craftsmanship competitions. Basically, make the most well-crafted cosplay of your character as possible. It's always fun to see what concepts people are given and how they'll use their skills to solve it. If you tell them to make a low poly render from like Mario 64, they'll freaking do it and win over the judges in the process. If they win their masters competition, they typically have two paths they go down. They'll either make cosplays for others via commissions, or they'll compete in the World Cosplay Summit. The best of the best from many countries come to Otaku Land to show off real-life, ultra-realistic renders of characters from anime. However, if you're not skilled enough in making cosplay with your hands, you can at least do some funky stuff with your body in the masquerade competitions. These focus more on the stage performance. I could argue that they are very exciting to watch since they put emphasis on movement and action. Typically there will always be a Vocaloid group dancing to whatever's popular nowadays, but it could always be Genshin cosplayers doing a magic show. You can let a cow do stand-up and it'll make people piss their pants.
Knock knock. Who's there? Cow. Cow. Cow, how much longer are you gonna let me get away with this?
These guys are the theater kids from high school. Laugh at them. Ha 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 ha. They're weirdos. Yeah. Yeah, baby, show 'em your curves. Show 'em your curves, applesauce. Just how I like it. With every cosplayer, there comes a photographer on the other side of the lens. These two specimen exist in a yin-yang dynamic. The cosplayers seek out validation for social media, while the photographer eagerly searches subjects to fill their terabyte SD cards with. Most photographers look like your average nerd. Just a guy with an iPhone taking pictures of VTubers he enjoys. However, there are people out there who can make a nice side job out of snapping photos of cosplayers kissing. It requires a lot of knowledge on angles, lenses, Photoshop, and a little bit of luck to deliver a good product. But there are some eccentric people out there that scream, "I took your high school yearbook photos!" I remember there was this one cryptid, this one guy walking around carrying a DSLR and a huge lighting setup. He looks like the Blastoise Pokemon, but for photography. I had a chat with the guy. He's actually crazy. He thanks his newfound power to doing a lot of squats. His legs probably have the strength to chokehold a JoJo cosplayer to take a picture of them. Is he the alpha photographer? Amen. I swear, it's like every other day you learn the existence of a YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. Like, you say you're internet famous. I never heard of you. That's the magic of the internet. You can be well known and beloved with one mask, while mediocre and forgotten with it off. You see these people all the time wherever you go. Just go ask the people who spot Chris Chan in public. When I was at Anime Expo, I had the pleasure of meeting beloved maniac Tobin Jacobs, aka the leader of the Saika Maizono Church. All hail. This guy's whole shtick is that he woke up in a cold sweat one night and said, "There needs to be Hololive girls haunting my house." And whoa, the kiddos of today idolize him. He knows the strategy to get free sex lining up at his door. Big YouTubers, popular Twitter artists, talented cosplayers who have questionable links in their bios. You'll occasionally find them walking about the con venue as if they're normal people. Oh my goodness. If they have big notoriety, people swarm them for photos and signatures. Maybe ask the occasional, "Oh, who's your waifu?" question. And they'll respond something like, "Oh, I think that one twink from Vento Arreo is hot." And everyone around them slaps their knees and laughs. They can be silly, they can be a little charming, ooh. But they're still normal, everyday people. Everyday people with wrong opinions, that is.
I've made a bunch of,
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to learn about Shinji and Kaoru's relationship in Evangelion. Just like how Shinji found Kaoru in Evangelion, finding the perfect partner means that they will never give you up, nor will they let you down.
The second of the big pillars of any convention are the fan panels. Basically, fill a lecture hall of nerds that are about to pass out, let some really eccentric people host after snorting some Kool-Aid, and give them the reign to talk about whatever their heart desires.
This is why we need to advertise Viagra of Misato. Just trust me, it works.
Panels can range in quality, from the high, big-budget productions that typically showcase the biggest and brightest the anime industry has to offer, to the ragtag, overworked yet dead inside hikikomori with a decade-old laptop nerding out about a game that no one remembers. The latter tends to produce the best entertainment, as, yeah, seeing a panel with the staff of Jujutsu Kaisen doing interviews and demonstrating never-before-seen footage is totally radical. I would much rather sit down and listen to someone yell into a microphone about how Azumanga Daioh invented lesbians, or whatever. One of the few panels I went to on Anime Expo was how the Saika Maizono guy does his craft. Oh, the newlyweds again. He talked about his process of making cardboard cutouts, how he made videos, how much his wedding cost. You will never see this guy doing an interview with Crunchyroll. But I'm not gonna lie, this guy made me a fan of the Danganronpa series. He's more influential than Big Suit Anime Executive 58. These types of people are crazy yet charismatic. So if you see a panel in the con schedule titled, "How to Fall in Love with Your Digital Girlfriend," just go and support the guy hosting it. It might ruin your day.
Freddy Fazbear! I love you, Chuck E. Cheese! Thank you.
Remember how there was a movement to give thanks to the doctors and nurses during the 2020 pandemic? And how people just stopped for some reason? That's basically the life of the con staff. These guys are some of the most thankless people in the world, up there with sewer cleaners and people who unclog your toilets. Unlike the previous two, these guys don't risk their paycheck with fecal matter on a daily basis. Rather, they risk their lives dealing with living fecal matter. Basically me when I get a burger from Rally's. We're gonna eat some good burgers. Here come the French fries. Ew. Ew. Ew, I got a toe. Ew. Not only do they have to be the frontline defense for a con of tens of thousands of people, they'll need knowledge on how the con operates, where every destination, nook and cranny of the convention center is, where to go if you break your leg after getting stomped on those cosplayers with advertisement signs. You know, basically be an FAQ page person. Why anyone would want to be employed in a punching bag position for no pay is beyond most people, but an anonymous source has told me the answers as to why he chose this position. Point 1. He wanted to give back to the anime community in some way. So, working as part of the convention team gave him the feeling that he's part of something bigger than him. Point 2. He could go to events that were normally excluded and pay to enter, like the VIP areas in the famed Butler Cafe. It also helped that he got 2 free meals a day and a free hotel room. Point 3. The simple fact of hanging out with old friends and making new ones on the job is something you can't take away from anyone. I'll make a bet that there's at least one person whose parents met thanks to working as con staff. How did I meet your mother? Well, son, this is how I met your mother. I was wrangling Genshin cosplayers in the line until I tripped, and she picked me up. We then sat at the classroom backdrop in the cosplay hall, where we posed as if we were going on a date. Your mother's name was Monica. You know, consumerism rocks. It comes in all shapes and sizes too. I, for one, am a big consumer of the green tea brand Oi Ulcha. I'll prove it to you too. Like, for starters, I have, look, I have 1 bottle, 2 bottle, 3 bottle. Ooh, this one's an oolong tea, it's golden. I freaking love Oi Ulcha. Oi Ulcha, Oi Ulcha. I love Oi Ulcha. You know, this consumerism thing is pretty cool, you know? The third of the big pillars of anime conventions are the artists and vendors of the beloved Artist Alley. These guys are among the most dedicated of congoers, as not only do they have the talent to create stuff that sells, they sometimes travel across states and countries to sell keychains of Neko Arc doodles that they saw in a dream once, and make profit doing so. One of my favorite pastimes is running up and down the Artist Alley, seeing what kinds of fancy art styles and characters the vendor has for sale. If you enjoy super popular anime, you're a kid in a candy store. You're swimming in merchandise. Oh no, your wallet. However, if you enjoy something niche, it's kind of like a treasure hunt to find just anything of note. I understand. Artists make pins and prints of Genshin Impact and Dragon Ball Z because they'll have a chance of making ends meet in a job industry that is highly luck dependent. But damn, finding anything that I enjoy is a sight to behold. But all artists have one thing in common: sucking your wallet dry. Let's look at my Ida bag. 90% of stuff here can be bought at an artist booth, and 100% of my con garbage is thrown in here, never to see the light of day again. Prices will vary from artist to artist, but if you're taking a look at just the keychains, at an average price of 15 bucks, that's 75 bison bills right there. That's enough for con venue food, like a lemonade shake and some candy wrappers. However, that's assuming they'll actually make sales, because balancing what the mainstream wants to buy and what you actually want to make is difficult. That, and the fact you're competing against other artists and vendors of mass-produced products, what you're doing is essentially a slot machine. But when you see an artist that's working their pencils and crayons off, just buy something, or take their free business cards. It'll make their day. They'll welcome your consumption addiction too.
What is that creature? What hormones did you put into the little guy?
Where the drinks at, good sire? Dude, I saw some shit. There were kawaii math teacher girls everywhere and they helped me solve the World Drug Shrine conspiracy.
Whatever it is you're smoking, I want it too.
If I had a nickel for every time I got drunk, I'd have none, because apparently I'm only young enough to do jury duty. It's almost like a tradition for anime cons to have the wildest after parties. Mix in the most socially inept people with drinks that allow them to fully speak their minds. It's almost like you're tasting heaven. With a little bit of spit and feces on the side. These guys tend to be very chill and know how to host some of the weirdest yet funnest parties in the nerd world. These after parties usually take place deep into the night, long after the general convention crowd goes to rest. I have yet to go to my first party, for reasons beyond my understanding. The after parties can go from big, officially organized hangouts by the convention itself to there's a lot of grown-up stuff that happens at these after parties. That's why a lot of them have age limits. Take for example the documented ones from Anime Expo 2024. You have parties with 18 plus, 21 plus, question mark. I'm no Mario cosplayer by any means, so I doubt you'd be missing out on... Of course, if you're more into that G-rated variety, there are always concerts and events for all ages. Yeah, be that one parent that takes a 6-year-old to a midnight rave. You'll have as much respect as the people that take crying babies on the planes.
So how long do you think he's been crying?
Vitamix.
Oh my god, look at that.
Vitamix slushy.
Triple X.
Did I scare you? I'm a deodorant.
I saved the worst, most disgusting type of degenerate that you'll find at a con for last. You know, the people that wear ahegao hoodies while buying yaoi paddles, the photographers that capture the juicy pics without others' consent, and the guys that can follow girls for damn near miles without getting tired. This vile specimen is commonly known as the con creep. While the good in anime conventions lie in people having the best times of their lives while getting DUIs in the process, flip that coin to the Lincoln Memorial and holy shit, Lincoln's actually there! He's barely noticeable, but still watching in the shadows of your dirty wallet. Just like your average stalker, hey. Con creep stories are unfortunately a part of the community. It's like every other week there's an expose on some guy that had a hidden rap sheet of These danger strangers can be anywhere. They may be your average nerd with an Osaka shirt. They may be a cosplayer who's super popular in a community. Or maybe you? Are you a con creep? How can you baselessly assume that someone on the other side is a con creep? But then again, evil tends to mask itself in nice guys, so that could also make sense. But at the same time, I like to believe that you have to be good. You can't be a con creep, you're good. Who are you? Are you okay? Just one more happy. Boo-hoo sob stories aside, the silver lining about con creeps lies in how the community at large responds to them. It's seemingly a large place where you think they can get away with a lot, but everyone in the con community knows a guy that's 2 persons removed from a Waffle House employee magician that can ban stalkers from big name cons. Evil masks itself in the form of goodness, and it can appear at the happiest of places. So it's really up to you and the con to find the bad actors, show what they've done, and keep cons fun for everyone. Or else she's gonna eat you. You're almost there. Of course. It doesn't matter who you are. There's one aspect of any con that affects everyone. The post-con depression. Cons are places where you can have some of the best times in the world. Then you return to reality and feel the big sad. If you're someone like me, you want the happiness to never stop. So later, you become an addict to cons, and holy crap, the to-do list will never end. The magic of anime cons is that you don't have to be a sad loser to enjoy them. If you are though, sorry, you're weird. At least you'll feel better at Anime Week in Atlanta than you would at, say, Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. Seriously though, it's the only place where you can drink your life away while getting beaten up by men dressed as skirts and anime girls. Why wouldn't you want to see that for yourself?
What did you say about us, Ponko?
Whoa. I just really like your hairy legs and your juicy, big, strong abs.
Alright, boys.
Fuck him up! Aw, crikey, I smell a con brawl. Experiencing one of these firsthand, I highly recommend against it. See ya, guys.
Fuck! Yo! This gotta do with the bolts!